Okay, so welcome to the second half of the Science 2023 curriculum-based test paper. We looked at part one, which is questions 1 to 20. In our previous video, I link it above this video. So you really want to watch that video before you start watching this video. It encapsulates the entire paper once you watch both videos. So let's get to the remaining half of the paper. It says, read the statement below, then use it to answer item 21. A student spilled some juice on the floor and needed a suitable material to clean it up. Which property should the material have? Should it be waterproof, magnetic, absorbent, or elastic? Absorbent is the correct answer because we need the material to absorb liquid. So the correct answer is C. Let's move on to number 22. Base or below, sorry, is an example of a label that can be seen on many household goods. Examine the label, then use it to answer items 22 and 23. So it says, which symbol is not represented on the label? Is it corrosive, high voltage, poison, or explosive? So let's look at them in more details. So for the symbol with the skull, that's poison. For the symbol with, it looks like a bomb exploding, that's obviously explosive. And for the symbol with, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, with the two test tubes pouring out something on a metal and then on your hand for the other part, that's corrosive. So the symbol that's not on it is high voltage. That high voltage symbol is something like a lightning. So B is the correct answer. Let's move on to 23. Which precaution should be followed when storing goods with this label? Avoid storing in a hot area, in a metal bottle, in a cold room, in an empty room. So the correct answer here is A. We do not want to store items with this label in a hot area because that will cause it to heat, overheat, and possibly explode. So the correct answer is A. Let's look at number 24. The pie chart below shows the proportion of different types of solid waste produced as a result of urbanization. Use the information in the pie chart to answer item 24. Pie chart showing the proportion of different types of solid waste. Which statement represents information obtained from the pie chart? Urbanization produces mostly paper waste. Paper waste and food waste is in equal amounts. That's not correct. A is also not correct. More plastic waste when compared to paper waste. That's correct. Or more furniture and toys when compared to food waste. Furniture and toys. Okay, so that's not correct. So the correct answer is C. Let's look at number 25. Use the information below to answer items 25 and 26. The group of scientists investigated the effects that sounds in a harbor had on the harbor's fish population. The diagram below shows the results of their investigation. Diagram showing fish count and the loudness of sounds in the harbor on 3 different days. Day 1, 12,000 fishes and the sound was very loud. Day 2, this sound was soft and there were 25,000 fishes. And then day 3, the sound was loud and there were 15,000 fishes. Which statement is likely supported by the information in the diagram? The harbor fish are likely attracted to loud sounds, scared away by loud sounds, scared away by soft sound, killed by loud sounds. So the correct answer here is B. They're usually what it seems is that they're scared away by loud sounds. Which could likely be a fish count if the sound in the harbor were very soft. It would be more than 25,000 because we saw when it was soft, it was 25,000. So it would be more than 25,000 if the sounds were very soft. So the correct answer is let's move on to item 27. Examine the graphs below and then read the statements in the box. Use the information to answer items 27 and 28. The statements reads, increases in global temperatures are negatively affecting human life. Which two graphs, when used together, will best support this statement? Let's examine the graphs. Surface temperature it starts in 1980 to 2021. And we have also hurricane strength. And we also have electric car production and banana production. So the correct answer is A, because electric car production and banana production doesn't really affect humans' life. When there is increase in surface temperatures, and that helps to increase hurricane strength, we know that we're all affected. when we have strong hurricanes. So the answer is I and I, or 1 and 2. So the correct answer is A. Move on to number 28. Which best describes the pattern seen in graph 5 from 1980 to 2021? It's increasing, decreasing, consistent, or fluctuating. It's fluctuating because it keeps going down and going up. It's high and low. It's not a steady incline, so that's not an increase. It's not going steady downwards, that's not a decrease. And it's not consistent. Consistent would mean a straight line, so it's fluctuating. Examine the diagram below and use them to answer item 29. Which diagram shows the refraction of light? The correct answer is 3. And we spoke about the pencil in the water. So the correct answer is E. Refraction is when light rays are bent, and that is what is shown in the diagram. The diagram below represents how an organ in the human body functions. Use it to answer item 30. The diagram represents the function of which organ? Let's look. The material from the body enters the organ. Then useful materials are returned to the body, and then unwanted materials are removed from the body, and this is the organ. The kidney, the useful materials are returned to the body, and then it removes the unwanted materials from the body. The stomach, while items enter the body, it doesn't remove, the stomach doesn't remove the unwanted material from the body. So the correct answer is the kidney. So B is the correct answer. Let's move on to number 31. Below is the aim of an investigation. Use it to answer item 31. Aim: to find out which of 3 paper towel brands, brand A, brand B, or brand C, is most absorbent. Which is a likely hypothesis from the investigation. A, it was seen that the thicker paper towel absorbed the most water. Brand C, paper towel is the thickest and most absorbent. Get 3 brands of paper towel, brand A, brand B, and brand C. A thick paper towel is more absorbent than a thick paper towel. What could be the correct answer? So we're testing something, and what we're really trying to test is that if the thick paper towel is more absorbent than the thin paper towel. So this could be an hypothesis. Correct answer is D. Let's move on to number 32. The investigation below was designed to find out which material is the best conductor of heat. Use it to answer item 32. 32. Which should the student do to ensure the test is a fair test? The student should ensure that in each step, the cup used is made of the same material. The ice cubes is used is the same size and shape. The cup is heated for a different period of time. The candle used is of a different length. So we're gonna rule out C and D because for it to be a fair test, then a variable or two must be the same or must be consistent. So the answer for number 32 is B. So when we look at the steps, we see that for step one, there's a clay cup and then the flame under it and then the stand. And that's for all of them. It says place one ice cube in the clay cup and note the time taken for the ice to melt. So we must have the same sizes of ice cube and the same shape in order for us to clearly see the time it takes to melt the ice cube. Let's move on to number 33. The diagram and the table below show the setup and result of an investigation. Use the information to answer item 33. I see them blew into 3 bottles of different sizes and recorded the pitch of the sound that was made. Each bottle contained a liquid and the space above the liquid contained air. So we see A, the volume of the liquid in the bottle is 300 centimeters square. For B, the volume of the liquid in the bottle is also 300, and for C. All right, let's look at the table showing the results of the investigation. Bottle A had a high pitch, bottle B medium pitch, and bottle C had a low pitch. Which is possible, or is a possible conclusion for the investigation? The volume of the liquid in the bottle affected the pitch of the sound. The thickness of the bottle affected the pitch of the sound. The amount of air in the bottle affected the pitch of the sound. The color of the bottle affected the pitch of the sound. For item 33, the answer is C. We knew that the liquid was the same across all the bottles, but we can look at it and see that there were different volumes or different capacity with air. The air occupied a different capacity in each bottle. So the correct answer is C. Or simply put, the amount of air was different. Let's move on to number 34. Use the information below to answer item 34. In the 1800s, the white with black speckled peppered moth lived in Britain. The picture of the moth is shown below. It was difficult for predators to see the moth when the moth perched on white tree trunks. Figure 1. This was because the color of the moth blended in with most tree trunks. We see the peppered moth on white trees. After the 1840s, factories in Britain began to release large amounts of black smoke. This smoke covered the white trunks of the tree, making the trees black. Peppered moths on the trees blackened by smoke. So the table showing the population of moths before and after the 1980s, 84, 1940s. What am I reading? Table showing the population of the moth All right. It says I was going a bit fast. So I started to literally see double. It says the population before 1840 and the population after 1840. So the table showing the population of the map before and after the 1840. All right. The population before the 1840s is 90,000 and population after the 1840s is 15,000. Which statement gives the most likely cause for the decrease in the population? After 1840, the darkening of the tree trunks caused more moss to be eaten by predators. The black smoke caused more moss to die from smoke poisoning. That's not correct. The large number of predators caused more moss to be eaten. That's not correct. The high levels of black smoke caused the moss to leave Britain. The correct answer is A. The darkening of the tree trunk caused more moss to be eaten by predators because the moths couldn't camouflage anymore and therefore they were eaten by the predators. Let's move on to number 35. Examine the bar graph and the statement below, then use them to answer item 35 and 36. Bar graph showing number of people with hearing loss, number of people with hearing loss and frequent headaches. So we see that it's increasing from the 1990s to 2020, and we're seeing the different bars. For hearing loss is the green bar, and for frequent headache is the darkened bar, or the black bar. It is believed that a new development is responsible for the changes in the number of people with hearing loss and frequent headaches after the year 2000. What was the development? The development was likely a newly built restaurant, dentist office, airport, or supermarket. The correct answer is C, because that causes more noise pollution than any other businesses here. The correct answer, airport. All right, let's move on to number 36. Which statement is true? Half the number of people suffered from hearing loss in 2020 than 1990. Let's look back at the diagram. Half, let's see. There was 2 bars for 1990 and 2000. That doesn't seem to 2010. Let's look half. Not quite 2 yet. All right, let's look at the other. The same number of people suffered hearing loss in 2010 than in 2000 and than in 1990. That's not correct. 2 times as many people suffered from hearing loss in 2010 than in 1990. 2 times as many people suffered from hearing loss. Let's look. Hearing loss, we're looking at the hearing loss one, which is 1, and 2010 is 1 and 2. Okay, let's look at the other option. Two times as many people suffered from hearing loss in 2010 than in 1990. That looks to me the correct answer. 3 times, sorry. 3 times, let's look at it. So there is 1 here for 1990, and there's actually 1, 2, 3 here for 2010. So the correct answer is D. Let's move on to number 37. Let's move on to number 37. In the cartoon below, some community members were at a town hall meeting giving an account on their experiences. Use the information to answer item 37. Let's read the cartoon. Every time it rained, it created holes that got deeper and wider. They started to plant the crops in the lines running straight down the hillside. We begged them to stop. A lot of mud came through the back door of my house. What the members of the community likely experienced: hill erosion caused by poor farming practices, hillside erosion caused by urbanization, flooding of homes caused by heavy rains, flooding of homes caused by new houses caused because new houses were built on the hillside. So let's look back at the conversation. This is more likely caused from hillside erosion caused by poor farming practices. Correct answer is A. All right, now let's look at the diagram below shows the grasshopper. Let's look at 38. Its natural environment consists of lush green grass. Examine the diagram, then use it to answer item 38. So we see strong large legs, strong outer body, green colored body, and green wing, lightweight. Which feature would make it difficult for the grasshopper to survive if they were to move? All right, if they were to move, yes, or move to an area with low cut brown dry grass. Look at the features. It's strong, large legs. It's green wings and body. It's strong outer body, or it's lightweight wing and body. So here the correct answer is B, because the grasshopper is green. Again, just like the moth, it wouldn't be able to camouflage, and hence predators will see it and more likely eat it. So the correct answer is B. Let's move on to 39. The diagram below shows the Blue Valley community and its surroundings before and after the year 1990. Use the information to answer item 39. Blue Valley community before 1990, Blue Valley community after 1990. Which change would likely happen within the community and its surrounding after 1990? The average yearly rainfall in the community would increase. The fertility of the soil found in the area would increase. The number of wild animals usually seen in the air would decrease. The carbon dioxide level in the air would decrease. The answer is C. The number of wild animals usually seen in the air would decrease because there's less greenery. If we look at it, we can see only one building here, and then for after 1990, we had a huge urbanization here, and we see only one patch of trees. Correct answer C. Let's move on to the final question of this paper. Examine the diagram below. They show where pink shrimp and codfish can be found along a coastline at different times in the year. Use them to answer item 40. Which best explains why there are no codfish off the coastline of Country X during the winter? So the pink shrimp is the prey and the codfish is the predator. Let's look at in the summer, we have a large patch of pink shrimp here, and then we have the prey, which is the prey, and we have the predator, which is the codfish. In the autumn, we see that there is still a larger amount of pink shrimp. And for the winter, we also see why there is, so there's basically look like a migration. So why there are no codfish off the coastline of Country X during the winter? Let's look at the answers. Codfish reproduce during the winter? No. There is no food available for the codfish because they've all migrated to country. Why? The pink shrimp feeds on codfish. That's not true. And the codfish avoid cold water. The answer is B, because all the pink shrimp went away from Country X to Y, then also the codfish followed them. So the correct answer is B. So there you have it. That's the end of the 2023 curriculum-based test paper. I hope you were able to see all the answers. And if you were following along, I hope you got most of them correct because the exams are literally around the corner. If not, you can just watch over the video to see what the questions are like and what could be your possible answers. Please tune in for the other videos. I'll be looking at the math paper, also for language and social, so that you do not want to miss those videos. Again, subscribe to the channel and share these videos with as many children as possible so we can all become highly proficient. I'll see you in our next video. Thank you for watching the video, and always try to just put your best foot forward. Continue to practice. This is the final leg of your examination. We're almost there. I'll see you in your next video.